up, YouTube? This your boy Download back with another industry topic. On May 19th in Atlanta, producers Bangladesh and Bink will host something called Inside the Studio Session for dynamic producers. In which, if you don't know what dynamic producer is, I actually was a member of it a little whiles ago. And basically what it is a bunch of producers that band together. The person who runs it, her name is Felicia Booker, I think it was. She actually supposedly has these industry contacts, and she posts up new opportunities for producers to send their music in which they act as a middleman to get the music to these people. Now keep in mind, there's a lot of producers that signed in on this, and very little people actually do get placement. But they always do some pretty good events and such, and it's a pretty good place to connect with other people on the grind. Now, but what the Inside the Studio Session is, it's going to be a virtual studio session with both of these producers, about 5 hours of them basically creating a track from scratch. Then they're going to bring in a special guest to record the actual track. Then they're going to have mixing and mastering. Then they're going to have a Q&A. Basically, the way I think it's going to be like a live stream feed. See, the conference is going to be held in an Atlanta hotel, while these guys are going to be in an actual studio session. And you know what? For people who don't have that experience of knowing what it's like to be in the lab and what it actually takes to create a pretty good song, this may be the thing for you to watch. You could watch this to tweak what you're doing, but for the most part, it's not going to help you get to where you need to go, really. You need to continue to grind on your own. But next, did you know that Cash Money has a publishing deal with these guys, Simon & Schuster, in which anybody who don't know Simon & Schuster, they're like some of the biggest book publishers out there. Like, they're owned by CBS. They've been in existence since like 1924 or some shit. And Cash Money has a writer on their team named Wanda Clark, in which she's been in jail for a little minute too. Like, she's doing 9.5 years for fraud. But she just made the New York Times bestsellers list for the 3rd fucking time. In which there's a bunch of really good things to come out of this. One, when you get into the music game, man, you don't just have to sell music. You can branch out and do things with books. You can do magazines. You can do anything you damn near please. You just got to be original with it. And two, just because you're in jail doesn't mean it's time to start slacking off. See, jail has a way of breaking people's down, taking away your spirit. Your mindset just goes away. But if you remain focused, man, you are given a whole lot of time to write some shit in your life. Only thing jail can do is take your body. Your spirit can continue to grow, your knowledge can continue to grow wherever the fuck you are at. And lastly, 2 Chainz teams up with the Hip Hop Caucus for the Respect My Vote campaign, in which it's pretty similar to the Vote or Die campaign that Diddy did back in the day, but it's taking it a step farther. See, because the intention here is to get younger voters out there to vote, of course, but then on top of that, to inform ex-felons of their rights to vote. Because it's not everywhere that ex-felons are completely banned from voting. But that's some shit that they don't want to tell you. And also, there's a lot of groups out there like the ACLU, man, that's fighting to bring back the voting rights of these people. Basically saying voting is a right, not a privilege. And then there's a whole lot of shady ass laws out there, man, that were developed specifically for black people to not be able to vote. And 2 Chainz definitely seems honestly involved with it, man. And that's a great thing, because he is the new face of the young crowd, man. He is pretty fucking popular. He seems really interested in it because he's an ex-felon and he's just now realizing that he still has some rights too. But this was another industry topic.